or they were 4-5. This season's now over. In the last 9 games of the year, they played a quality opponent. They couldn't get to 17 points. Now, it is the first game all year they've lost when holding an opponent to 17 or less. They were 12-0 in those spots, 0-4 when the opponent scores more than 17. Defense did its job. Well, oh, you know what? Actually, I was thinking the game ended 14-13. The stat remains because the Titans did get that touchdown at the end, 20-13. Yeah. So the defense held them under, but the offense gave the touchdown. I forgot about the touchdown at the end. Defense did its job until the single biggest play of the game. Belichick didn't trust Brady enough to let him go for a 3rd and 4, 2 plays after the Edelman drop, punts it away, believing we're going to sell out against the run on 1st and 2nd down, force them into a pass on 3rd down, I imagine is what he's thinking. He got exactly that. And then Harvard grad Ferkser, who I was not that familiar with, I'm being honest, prior to his touchdown early in the game, makes the play on Ryan Tannehill's 8th completion of the night. And that was it. Like, that was all she wrote. So how did they get in that position? Well, 2 players. Derrick Henry was sensational, what looked like Earl Campbell, and Tom Brady looked like an old man. Tom Brady, and I understand he's receivers. He could have, you guys both won Super Bowls playing wide receiver. He could have used either one of you guys, not necessarily in your prime. I'm talking about just literally on Saturday. Come out there and help out if you can. Yeah. But 7 of 21 for 68 yards on passes to receivers. All Brady's yards came on those little dump-offs, screen passes, and guys running. So the Patriots offense, after good drives, 2 of their first 3, died. And the defense played well, but did not score. They didn't get a special team score, and they needed that jolt in order to be able to overcome the Titans.
Yeah, usually this team wins because of defense, and usually because of special teams. Their defense let them down woefully. I mean, Henry having 160-plus yards, that you're not going to win many games in the NFL if you let that happen. Home, away, it doesn't matter if you have Tom Brady or, you know, Joe Montana. If you can't stop the run, it starts to unravel. And when you look at the way that on the outside, you look at the receivers, and it's just, like you said, nobody's ever won the Kentucky Derby on a donkey. You need the horses, and they don't have any horses on the outside. Edelman is a respectable receiver, good receiver, but you got to get guys on the outside to open up the defense so that Edelman can do his stuff and work in the middle, and that's just not happening. With Gronk out, they just don't have what it takes to beat the upper echelon teams consistently in a playoff type of situation.
Yeah, this was solely on their offense. The defense, I get it. You gave up 160 yards to Derrick Henry, but you knew what you were getting into with Derrick Henry and that Titans offense and what they wanted to do. They wanted to run the ball. They were going to hang their hat on that. You mentioned Ryan Tannehill had 8 completions. Like, that was not their game plan. Their game plan was turn around, hand it off to Derrick Henry, wear them down, and that's what happened. Offensively, they just don't have anything. Like, they ran the ball better, but they didn't run the ball like they did last year in the postseason and at the end of the season. Tom Brady, obviously, he's not the Tom Brady that we once saw. But I can't just put it solely on him. They have, you mentioned it, they have no one on the outside that stepped up, including Edelman. Like, they just didn't step up. And Edelman has been a great player in the postseason for them, and he didn't step up. But I can't put it solely on him. It's the guys around him. When you don't have another option to go to, a N'Keal Harry, Philip Dorsett, nobody rises to the level. A Mohamed Sanu, who you thought bringing him in was going to help you sustain drives and create opportunities for Julian Edelman, but it didn't. And so Brady just looks older and older and worse because he doesn't have anyone that can create separation and get open.
Why does it bother you so much, Nick, that we absolve Tom Brady of anything because he has no weapons to work with?
Well, listen, I do feel for him. If only he had Austin Ferkser. I mean, if only he had these. I mean, if only he had DK Metcalf, a guy who was taken after N'Keal Harry. I mean, guys, like the Patriots do not have elite weapons. We cannot talk about them like they had the worst weapons in football this year. They did not. They have a first-round pick at running back, a first-round pick at wide receiver, and a player at another wide receiver they spent a second-round pick on in Mohamed Sanu, a veteran midseason addition that when he was acquired, the narrative was, oh, this is a huge ad for him. Did he fall off? Or did he go from getting to play with Matt Ryan to having to play with a 42-year-old Tom Brady? And again, I'm going to do the old reading rainbow thing. Don't take my word for it. Does Josh McDaniels trust him? First and goal from the 1, handoff, stoned. Second and goal from the 1, handoff, stoned. Third and goal from the 1, handoff, stoned.
Now, but is that him not trusting Brady, or is him not trusting the running backs or the offensive line that was
just the personnel, the skill guys on the outside?
Yeah. Who's going to throw it to?
Well, okay, so they don't have a player who can catch a 1-yard touchdown. They don't have a player who they can go play action pass and throw it over the middle. I know that on 3rd and 1. Josh McDaniels said at midfield early in the game, our best option is our inside linebacker playing fullback to run the football. Yeah. On 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal. You took I'm not calling the plays. They took the ball out of Brady's hands. So, 4th and 4, when Derrick Henry has been just crushing you all game. Bill Belichick said, I believe in my defense stopping him more than Brady's ability and the offense's ability to get 4 yards. Those are the facts. Like that's what happened. Now we can argue he should have trusted him more. You can argue that if he would have shown more faith in Tom Brady, they would have won that game. I'll even listen to that, because I think if you would have told Brady it's either going to be 3 runs at the goal line or 3 passes at the goal line, maybe even a 4th because you're not going to lose yards on one of the passes, that they would have gotten a touchdown, and that could have changed the game entirely. But they didn't trust him. They thought they could win the only way they've won all year, which is making sure our quarterback doesn't make the critical mistake, which he did not until the final play of his career as a Patriot, which was a pick 6 going the other way, or what I believe will be his career as a Patriot, and that our defense will win it for us. And their defense in the final moment was not able to step up and get off the field.
All right, now we spin this forward and we wonder what happens to Tom Brady and where do the Patriots go from now if it does not include Tom Brady. We will discuss that to come. Amani, stick around on the other side. How did Deshaun Watson bring the Texans back from a 16-point deficit? Next. First things.
Organization, and over the course of my career too. So I appreciate it. I hope I've always, tried to do the right thing out there, and who knows what the future holds. So we'll leave it at that.
Do you have a sense of whether you'll be back with the Patriots in 2020, and do you want to be back with the Patriots in 2020?
I love the Patriots. I mean, they obviously, they got it's the greatest organization, and, playing for Mr. Kraft all these years, and for Coach Belichick, I mean, there's nobody who's had a better career, I would say, than me, just being with them. So I'm very blessed, and I don't know what the future looks like, and I'm not going to predict it, so I wish we'd have won tonight, and wish we'd done a lot of things better over the course of the season, but we just didn't get the job done.
Is there any possibility that you would retire after this last season?
I would say it's pretty unlikely, but yeah, hopefully unlikely.
Well, Nick, this is what everyone's talking about right now. It is the future of Tom Brady. Do you think Tom's played his last game with the New England Patriots, the only team he's played for in the NFL?
I do think that Saturday was his last game with the Patriots. And if it was, it obviously was the end of the most successful, improbable, and impressive run any player with any individual team in any sport you could argue has ever had. What he put together 2 separate Hall of Fame careers, the first 10 years and the second 10 years. It'll never be matched. In 18 years as starter, 17 division titles, 13 byes, 13 AFC Championship game appearances, 9 Super Bowl appearances, 6 wins, 4 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 league MVPs. No one will ever do what he did with that team. But he's not done playing football. And the New England Patriots, aside from the owner of the team, have not shown any inclination that they want him to continue playing football for them. They had plenty of opportunities to make Tom Brady the long-term commitment that he wanted to this offseason. They wouldn't. The only thing they gave him, and Robert Kraft talked about it with Peter King before the game about how it was important to Tom Brady that he get flexibility, freedom after the season, that was something Tom wanted, because he does not want to trust his future to a person in Bill Belichick who clearly does not any longer believe in him as a top-flight, high-level superstar NFL quarterback. And so Jay Glazer reported this weekend, Greg, that he's not going to take any hometown discount, and why would he? He's taken hometown discounts year after year, and I'm sure he feels with that money you've squandered it. With that money you have not put great pieces around me. So I believe Tom Brady is going to keep playing football. I do not believe it will be with the New England Patriots. And if I had to pick a team, same team I picked 2 months ago when I said this day was coming. The Los Angeles Chargers have weapons. They have an opening at quarterback. He owns a home there. It's in a great city, and they need to sell tickets there. Reportedly, they have 0 PSLs.